amateurs, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertip like I'm Thanos, knocking those down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made, walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser, I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let's heard, we eating, talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad, pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab, pay what it cost for the tab, extra with the band, young Chris a king, better add extra on the... I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam. I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day. I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And up next, it's Deshaun Watson. He was terrific a week ago, well over 400 yards passing. It's the Saints and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
The first open back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Saints in this matchup, but with how good they have been, it's not often that we can say they come into a game truly facing a challenge. But Charles, that's the case this week.
Absolutely. What a challenge it is, because they're now coming into this one and they don't exactly have a clear advantage, something that they usually possess in every game they play with the way that they throw the football. I can't wait to see if they change things, if they emphasize different things than we've seen throughout this season, how they go about trying to move the ball downfield.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by Deshaun Watson. Of course, he won a national title at Clemson and already has 3 Pro Bowls under his belt in the National Football League.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time. And he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. And look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. To throw on 2nd and 10, Watson. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Watson. They'll set up the screen to Herbert. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the 2nd-year man from The Ohio State University, Justin Fields.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffling. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 23 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
It's a very nice winning streak that they're on, and they've really seen this offense come into its own as a unit. And one of the keys is that the ground game has been established, and it's keeping the defense honest near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that leads to huge games for him. Other times, he plays a complimentary role to someone else. But however it's getting done, they're winning week after week.
Fields now to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
Back deep to return is Lynn Bowden.
This is taken around the 12. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Watson now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Now it's Lockett. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Down at the 25. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0. then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Fields. His pass caught at the 4. Touchdown, Bengals. Julio Jones. His second touchdown of the season. And the Bengals will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Faking the give. Now Watson.
And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Edwards. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Bengals will get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
58 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Fields.
He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. From the 24, Fields. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Jordan Phillips. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum of the defense.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this will want to ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
There's the versatile back, Kareem Hunt, getting set with the rest of this offense for the next drive.
And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt.
Holding offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that one, and even 60 yards in the air. Wow.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A handoff for Herbert. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris. A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
A limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Now it's Watson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bengals set to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. They juked him, and the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run again with Hunt. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
83 yards on the ground now for Hunt. It'll be a 1st down.
1st down, Cincinnati.
From the gun, here's Fields. Jones has it. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
To Julio Jones. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 38-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Back to throw. Fields.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they were setting up the screen, CD, a lot of free runners, and they got there late, and the penalty ensued.
Yeah, somehow it didn't get into their brains that it was a screen, right? Instead of pulling off and chasing the ball downfield, they kept going towards the quarterback and knocked him down way late. That draws the penalty flag each and every time.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On the delay, here's Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now on 2nd and 16.
Fields.
They'll go screen here to Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, is continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Here's Fields now on second down.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on third down, Fields. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over first and 10.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up first and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Here's Watson.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And this will be caught by Edwards. And he is going to have a Saints first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. On first and 10, it's Herbert. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Here's a give to Herbert.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Watson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Bryan Edwards.
37 yards.
And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit.
Extra point good by Prater. And that cuts this lead down to 13. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Fields. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Now it's Fields.
Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
A 3rd quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off of play action, it's Watson.
That's complete to his running back, Herbert.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the 1st.
They'll run here with Herbert.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now the former UCLA Bruin, this is Joshua Kelly. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off. Back now here live in New Orleans. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Off play action, Fields. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Saints are right back in this football game. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. That's complete to his tight end flyer move. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Watson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. To throw is Watson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Watson looks to throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get it.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. And now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. handoff up the middle. And he loses the football a second time. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A give right side now to Hunt. They find some open field here. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Kareem Hunt, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Hunt going to run for it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
On first down, Watson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on second down. Watson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Watson. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry to try again after the sack. Watson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Watson now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. On 1st and 10, Watson. It's Edwards again. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Holding offense.
Well, they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Watson's throw into the hands of Pittman here.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. To the air yet again, Watson. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30.
Watson's throw complete to Freiermuth.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Watson. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Troutman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
On second down, right back to Hunt.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. On third down, here's Hunt. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here we go on fourth down, Fields.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Open man here, the tight end Henry. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
First down, Cincinnati.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Bengals, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for New Orleans,
okay, say no more. Tell the chauffeur to open Mercedes door. Put the pedal to metal and made it soar. She was, but I made it sure it was. So we stayed indoors. Let's take it where no one has been before. It feel like I've known you some years before, but I don't know. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a Magnum Opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it.
my life. I deserve 6 rings like a Mike. I've got no sleep. I remember when it was the nosebleeds. Now they captured the fashion from flow seats. I'm a whole king.
Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more.
She's a lotus and I'm the conductor of a magnum opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it.
Ooh, it's trouble in paradise. So let's parachute where the air's nice. And let's risk it all on the paradise. But she just wanna make sure her hair's nice. That's fair, right? I just fell in love with a prima donna. The 2023 Madonna. I mean, your honor, I was minding my business until she gave me complete nirvana.
Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more.
She's a lotus and I'm the conductor of a magnum opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it.
Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares.
You gotta choose.